The Animal Rebellion. Chapter 1. Uncle Bob and my cousin Brad just picked me up at the airport to drive almost 100 miles out to their remote farmhouse. This farm was supposed to be a really cool place, nestled among beautiful rolling mountains and very far away from any neighbours. My parents thought it would be good for me to spend 2 weeks in a farm during summer vacation, but now I wasn't so sure I really wanted to go. I'm pretty much a city kid, and had never spent even 1 hour on anything like a farm. Give me city life any day. Buildings and buses, concrete and computers. Who ever heard of a computer on a farm? This is going to be a great time, Brad said to me in the car. We'll have a blast. Oh yeah, absolutely, Brad. I'm really happy to be here. It's going to be lots of fun, I answered politely. But really, I was starting to wish I'd never left home. Everything seems exciting in Chicago, where I live. There are lots of computers in Chicago. Some kids call me a computer geek because I'm good with computers, and I do look a little geeky, I guess. Big black glasses, short brown hair, large ears. I'm not very big or strong for my age. Even my name sounds like a computer geek, Winston. And please don't ever call me Win or Winnie. Winston's just fine, thank you. So here I was, a city kid named Winston, riding off to who knows where in Uncle Bob's dusty pickup truck. I already was sure everything was going to be boring here in this place called Vermont. I didn't know then just how wrong I was. Vermont turned out to be a lot of things, including terrifying, but it was never boring. On the way to the farm we drove through Burlington, Vermont's largest city. It was incredibly small by Chicago standards, but looked like kind of a cool place to live. At least there were sidewalks, and lots of restaurants and stores and pretty New England churches, and all of it sitting right on Lake Champlain, which sparkled brightly in the summer sun. I wished Uncle Bob and Brad lived in Burlington, but we were heading out into the country now, farther and farther away from the city. I have to admit that everything seemed very pretty to me. The woods lining the roads were thick with green leaves, and the mountains beyond the woods looked like they were covered by a dense green carpet. And that's when I heard it. Thump, the thump, thump, the thump. It sounded really weird, almost like an animal. It was coming from somewhere inside the truck, but Uncle Bob and Brad weren't making the sound. They knew I wasn't making it. When I turned to look through the rear window, I saw there was nothing in the back of the truck. What was that? Asked Uncle Bob, trying to sound as brave as possible. I suppose I was just a little afraid. That? Oh, Winston wants to know about, the sound. Uncle Bob said to Brad, should we tell him? Then we heard the sound again. Thump! The thump! Thump! It was louder this time. It sounded like the animal was angry, and getting angrier. Brad and I were both sitting in the back seat. I looked over at Brad. His face was wrinkled up as if he was frightened. I could see Uncle Bob's eyes in the rearview mirror. They looked worried. Oh yeah, sure, Brad said. The sound. I don't think we should tell him about it already, Dad. We don't want to scare him before he gets to the house. Tell me what, Ash. Come on. You've got to tell me. What's that sound, Brad? I think you better tell him about it. He may want us to bring him back to the airport before it's too late, Uncle Bob said seriously. Guess you're right, Dad. You see, Winston, that sound comes from a ghost, Brad said, looking totally scared. An animal ghost. It lives right inside our truck, and it can take over the truck whenever it wants and make us drive right off the road, right into a tree or something at 80 miles an hour. Yeah, sure it can, Brad. Tell me another one, I said as if I didn't believe him. But inside I wasn't so confident. I might be smart, but I didn't get as scared as anyone else. It's true, Winston. This truck is possessed by an evil animal spirit. It came from the house to the truck, Brad said. From the house? What do you mean from the house? I asked. I hate to tell you this, Winston. I guess I should have told you and your parents before you came all this way, Uncle Bob said sadly. What Brad told you is true. The truck is possessed by an evil spirit. And our old farmhouse is haunted too. The whole place is full of the ghosts of dead animals.